Hello, I wanted to talk about another game, and this time it's Asterigos, Curse of the Stars. We play this game as Hilda, a warrior of the Northwind Legion, which are Northmen and give her some kind of Viking background. She was sent to the city of Arthas to find the lost expedition of her father. The backstory is a little more complicated. Her father was sent to an expedition to the city of Arthas. Arthas is an old city with a high standard of technology and magic based on the substance sternite, that which I would guess is some kind of metal. Now 1,000 years ago, some kind of incident happened. All the inhabitants of Arthas became immortals, and the catch here is they need to consume stardust to survive. Stardust can be created by processing sternite, and it's also left behind if somebody is getting killed. To make sure there is not too much cannibalism going on, the officials were trying to create stardust from sternite. Now the city looks a little run down, but remember, it's been 1,000 years and nobody really has maintained this place all that much. So it actually looks pretty good for that circumstance. Hilda was left behind by her father before he left to the expedition, because he thought, well, she's too young, she's not ready, it's too dangerous. That might all be correct, but it didn't stop the king sending her out after a few months, because he didn't hear anything from the expedition. So she was too young and it was too dangerous for her to go to the city with the big expedition, but it was okay to send her alone. Yeah, that's some kind of logic I can get behind. This would have made so much more sense if she was acting on her own, and not with an official letter of the king sending her here. Shortly after Hilda entered Arthas, she was captured by one of Minerva's warriors. Minerva is a person who wants to solve the problem with the incident 1,000 years ago, and wants to lift the curse from the city. She works together with Hilda, giving her some information about the expedition of her father in exchange for various quests she has to undergo. While doing the quests for Minerva, Hilda finds many documents that help her understand the situation. Also, she finds echoes. Those are small magic bubbles that will show her a little conversation between a few people. Under these echoes, there are some where the Northwind Legion, her father and his companions, talk about the situation. Hilda wants to get these echoes for Minerva, specifically about these conversations. Hilda can choose from the get-go between a variety of weapons. There is a sword and a shield, daggers, hammers, spears, staff, bracelets that give her some landmines. All these weapons do the same amount of damage unless you upgrade them. And in this section lies a little problem. You can only upgrade a few of them because you never get enough ingredients to upgrade them all. The rare ingredients you need for the higher levels are just not there. The weapons basically do the same damage. They have different skills attached to them and you can upgrade various aspects of them, but the pure damage is the same. You also have 4 slots for trinkets, which can help you boost specific things, like your defense, your hit points, or the amount of potions you can take with you. With every level up you get attribute points, which you can put on one of these 3 attributes. There is the attack attribute, making your attacks stronger. You can get more life by using the con attribute, and you can get more spell points to use your abilities with this one. Also, if you attack normally, you can regain these spell points, and the amount you get is also upgraded with this ability. The other thing you get are talent points you can use to upgrade your weapons, like the sword and the shield get special attacks, a special stance. You also have more general upgrades like increasing your maximum SP, AP or life. The Sanctuary acts as the main hub for Hilda. Here she can upgrade her weapons, buy supplies and teleport to other regions. The little fox lady here is Vulcana, and she is the nicest person in the Sanctuary.
Hey sweetie, what's up?
Here you can upgrade your weapons if you have the ingredients and craft trinkets if you have the ingredients again. You actually never have the right ingredients at hand. The good stuff I found as blueprints here is unavailable for me for, I guess, quite a while. And the stuff I could have crafted right at the beginning is now available, but still I don't really know if I want to spend the resources they need for this. You also get these enhancements, which give your weapons an extra element if you want it. You start with the Astral enchant, which is standard damage, and you can have fire, ice and thunder. You can switch between these weapon damage types by doing this little Thanos move. Another important person in the Sanctuary is Quintus. He is the trader who will sell you various items like potions and crafting ingredients. His stocks are pretty low and he will only give you better stuff if you find his stockpile around the city. And I'm already thinking, why do I give that stuff to him? Why don't I keep it for myself? He is selling you the elixir of renewing, which you can use to reskill your character. But it's not all that useful. You can rearrange the points you spent on constitution and attack. That is useful. Maybe you were a little afraid and skilled too much life, constitution, and now your damage isn't good enough. But if it comes to reskilling your weapons, you have a little problem. Since you can't upgrade all your weapons, you're pretty much stuck in the weapons you upgrade at the beginning, which might be a little bit of a flaw of this game. Now that we have talked about the backstory and the basics, Asterigos is an action RPG in the end, so it's all about the fights. You can use your ranged weapon and attack them with a barrage of shots, or maybe you want to be close and personal and use your sword and shield. In that case, I advise to actually evade most of the enemy attacks. And yeah, they see me rolling. This is basically how the fights in Asterigos work. You need to be fast on your feet and avoid being attacked directly by rolling away. And in theory you could block with your shield, but I have to be clear, that really never worked. There are also various boss battles which you have to undergo, and they give you a completely different set of problems. One of the biggest flaws of this game is not having a map. I never know where I am, and some of these regions can be very, very confusing. That is a real problem, which should be addressed at some point. One of the biggest criticisms of this game could be that the actual combat feels rather slow. There are very few fast opponents, so there is no real challenge with the smaller stuff, or the bigger crabs in this case. Still, it's an enjoyable game, has an interesting story, and, well, you play as a cute girl, that's always a plus.